Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today let's solve yet another Leet code question. The description of the question is as follows: that we were given m arrays where each array is sorted in the ascending order. You can pick two integers from two different arrays. Okay, so given an array is an array of arrays or vector of vectors. We need to pick two different vectors of a given vector, and we define the distance between two integers as absolute difference a and b. So we need to return the maximum distance. So just let me write the note points. So first note point that's given to us, we were given vectors of vectors, vectors of vector I'll say, or vector of vectors, no, vectors. Okay, nothing. We were given vector of vector. So we need to define the distance distance between two integers a and b is absolute difference of a minus b. Okay, that's the point number 2. And point number 3 is we need to pick a and b from different vectors. So a and b should be part of different vectors and not the same vector. Now how I'll do this is fairly simple. First of all, I'll just maintain a priority queue, and priority queue contains pair of int and int, and this also is vector, or I just won't specify anything. So okay, why? First of all, before having this data structure, I'll just solve the first example for you. It's 1 2 3. The first vector is 4 5 and third one is 1 2 3. So for obtaining the maximum difference, I'll consider the minimum value from the third vector and maximum value from the second vector. So it would be 5 minus 1. So answer would be 4. Let's just me add you give you example of other condition as well, or other example that's not present over here. If I consider the example to be 2 3 and 1 4, in this case the answer should be 4 minus 2 or 3 minus 1, that is equals to 2, and it should not be 4 minus 1 because 4 and 1 are part of same vector or same array. We shouldn't consider two ABs from the same array. So for that, instead of just maintaining the value, I'll also maintain the index in the sense, you knew that priority queue by default is a max heap. So I'll just show you. So this is my priority queue given, and this priority queue is by default a max heap. So what's a max heap is? What max heap, I'll show you how max heap looks like. I'll just show you the images of it. So given this, it's a max heap. So how it works is, the root element is always greater than the left and right child of it. So you could see that 10 is greater than 5 and 3, and here 5 is greater than 2 and 4. So if I need to insert any new element into it, I'll insert 15 over here. Then I could either move 10 to this child or to this child. But first of all, how insertions works in the heap is, first empty child, that's left child of 3 will be filled and it's 15. Then heapify function will be called. What heapify function will do is, it will check if my leaf element is greater than the root element. In that case, it will just swap the elements. So here in this case, 15 will be swapped with 3 and 3 will be coming here. That's over the first iteration, and then that will be recursive call, and after that it will just check 15 with 10, and 10 is less than 15, so 15 will go here and 10 will be coming here. So that's a final heap. So this is how it works in max heap, and by default priority queue is a max heap. So top element stored will be max. and that depends upon only the first value of it. So in one may question me that you just could compare the numbers if it's an integer data type, but here it's a paid data type, then how will the data or how will the integers be compared among themselves? The answer is really simple. The first element will be compared. And what's the first element over here? I'll be just storing the value as the first element, and second element would be my index. Got it? Is index. So this is for the max heap. Oh, sorry, this is for yes, this is for the max heap. And how to do that for the min heap? Min heap is exactly the opposite way around. Min heap contains the root element is lesser than the left and right element. So you could consider this as a min heap. You could see that my root element is lesser than the left and right child of it, and here also my root element, I'm just sorry, I'll just show you this. Yes, my root element is lesser than the left child and right child of it. Here also my root element is less than right child and left child of it. So this is how min heap works. For creating a min heap or priority queue that uses min heap, it's fairly simple. I'm just saying that I'll store a pair of int and my priority queue will use vector data structure at the backend, and it should be greater. I'm specifying that I need to use min heap and not a max heap. So this I'll call a pq max for underlying the difference, showing the underlying difference, and this I'll call pq min. So I'll just check if I closed everything perfect or not. So this is perfect and this is perfect, followed by this is also perfect. So that's done of it. And now I'll just call my size to be arrays.size. I'll iterate through all the elements or all the vectors present in the size, and it's fairly simple, you know. My current size would be, I'll just call it current size. Current size of vector would be what? Arrays of I.size. So into the min heap, what I'll need to push? Into the min heap, I'll just push arrays of I0. I need to push the lowest elements into it, right? Followed by I. So, and I'll also check if pq.min.size is greater than 0 or greater than or equal to 2 or greater than 2, I'll just call it. Then I'll just pqmin.pop. So why I'm doing this? See, for achieving the answer, we need a max difference. So max difference can only be possible if my min, I'll just call it max diff will be possible if we consider the maximum element and the minimum element. Sorry for the error. Right, but now only the issue is if my maximum element and minimum element are part of the same vector, in this case 1 4, then we couldn't consider that thing. So what I'll do is, instead of maintaining one maximum element, I'll maintain the maximum element of this vector and this vector, and that I'll do for 2 arrays out of n arrays. 2 arrays out of n arrays will maintain the max elements. So if I consider if my maintaining this, I'll also maintain 2 vectors out of n arrays will maintain the min elements. So first I'll check if my max element and min element, first max and first min. First max is larger than all. Second max is larger than all except first max. Similarly, first min is smaller than all, and second min is smaller than all except first min. So here what I'll do is, first of all, for obtaining the maximum absolute difference, I'll just subtract the first max with first min. But if it's not possible, then I'll check first max with second min and second max with first min. So for that I need 2 data elements. So for that I'll just need 2 data elements, and if I'm getting more than 2 data elements, in the sense I'm specifying that I am having 2, 3, 5 as my minimum elements, but 2, 3 are already lesser than 5 and I need only 2 values of it, so I do not need 5. So I'm just popping this out. In the similar way, pqmax.push arrays of I, and where will be the maximum element of mine? Car size minus 1, and my index here would be I. Here also I'll just check if my pqmax.size is greater than 2. If that's the case, then pqmax.pop. Simple. And now I'll just check auto first LE or first max. I'll just call first max IDX to be pqmax.top. Auto first min, or I'll just call it. Now I'm already done with it, so I'm just simply popping it because I'm already adding it into a data structure, so I just will pop this out and I'll call this second max index to be pqmax.top. So now again I'll just pop this out, or pop without popping also we could proceed further, but I'll just pop it out for maintaining the standard. So first min IDX to be pqmin.top. pqmin.pop. I'm just popping this out again. Second min, and second min IDX here would be pqmin.top again. So here this would be pqmin.pop. Now that's fairly simple enough. Now I'll just check if my first max index is not equal to first min index. In that case, what I'll do, I'll simply return first max minus first min. Else for now I'm just returning 0, but I'll just check this out. This should work fine for both of my test cases, because in both of them I'll just make sure priority queue. Okay, I just made a spelling error. Addition of offset overflowed. I'm not sure why I'm getting this error. What's the reason of this error? I'll just check whether I'm reaching out of it or not. Okay, that's working fine. First min, both of them are coming to be same in this case. Okay, first let's just debug the 1-1 case. I guess in this case I'm not even able to. Just a second. So this case we aren't able to come even outside. I'm pretty sure why that's happening. This should be car size minus 1. Sorry for the bad. Yes, it's working fine now. I'll just reset the test cases. So both of them should work fine now. This isn't working fine. The reason for this being, I'll just check my first max. I'll just check if all of our results are as expected or not. PQ max, Okay, so I'll just check if my PQ max should be containing cursor is -1. That's fine only. First max is less than first max index is less than endl. So this is what it should work. This is how it should work. And here I'll just call it second max, and this should be changed to second max index as well. And I'll paste the same over here. No, I shouldn't submit that. I'm just verifying it. This should be first min, this should be first min idx followed by the same. I'm sorry if, so I'll just call it second min, and that should be second min idx. I'll just verify if I'm getting everything as expected or not. If not, just we'll retrace back to our logic. So this should not be the case. First maximum should be 5. Why am I getting it to be? Not sure. PQ max dot size. There should be 2 maximum elements, right? In that 2 maximum elements. Of it. Or wait, let me just not do this for now, for sake. But that should not be the case anyhow. No, it's working fine, I guess. It should be greater than 3 or what? No, there are 3 elements and just pop up. Just a second, guys. So I'm pretty sure why we are getting the error by this point. The reason being, I'm just checking if my PQ max dot size is greater than 2, and I'm popping out my maximum amount of it. So 5 will be popped out here. So these conditions isn't required, right? So without this, I'm also done with my debugging. I got what I'm doing error, or where I'm doing a mistake. This is fine, this is fine, so this is also working. And else here, if instead of returning 0, we already discussed, I'll just return max of second max minus first min and first max minus second min. So let's just submit this out. It's working fine. I'll also specify my compiler not to import any libraries from C that will be helping me to take input or print anything to the console or terminal. So I'll just specify my cin.i should be null, in the sense that I do not require anything to take input, neither I do not require anything to give output to the terminal. So I'll just submit this out now. Yes, that's working fine, and we bet 99.06 people with our complexity. That's too great. So please feel free to add anything in the comment section if you think anything is unclear.